So anyway, these old people are talking about how, they're gonna have to move and they don't understand. And there seems to be this mentality that when you have money, that you're supposed to want to help out other people. That you're supposed to use your money to fix other people's problems. No matter what those problems are caused by, it's something that's their fault, it's not their fault. But there seems to be this overwhelming idea of these people own a building. It costs them a whole lot of money to maintain, and they don't make as much as they could from it because they're going through human services to help already find housing for people who can't afford it. So the mentality that these people had seemed to be that they should take a loss continuously, a continuous loss, just simply to benefit the people that lived in the building, not the people who own the building. One of the women seemed genuinely concerned about, how she was going to be able to deal with it. At the same time, making comments about the welfare system and all the embarrassment of having to, resort to welfare.
Hi, thank you.
You have a great night. Sorry, delivering food to customers. I'm a pretty polite person at work. Fuck you! Paranoid fuck there, I walked up to the corner and he honked his horn like, oh shit, don't walk in front of me. You shut the fuck up and do your goddamn job. Pay attention to your driving. Speaking of. Just because you have money doesn't mean you're required to be some socially advanced creature. These are humans we're talking about. The opportunistic species. One of the women actually started to sound like a post I saw the other day where she didn't understand that the Affordable Care Act and her Medicare and Obamacare and all of the services she was talking about losing were all stuff that were going to be taken away. That they're planning on disassembling the process that gives this woman health care. And everything she said sounded like somebody who would, be opposed to allowing these people more power over her shit. The same people who are fucking her over. But she was obviously a Trump supporter. I don't get it. And if you're going to publicly rail against a thing, you should probably not have elected the person who is probably going to actively make that shit worse. Yeah, honestly, I'll fucking say it. I would be happy. I would love it if it turns out that Trump lied to all of you fucking Republicans. That he lied to all of you. when he said he was going to make changes, that he didn't intend on changing anything. Not for you people. No, he intends on changing it so he can make more money. That's it. That's all he wants. You could see it throughout the whole fucking election cycle this time. He didn't want this job. This isn't something he wanted. He was as shocked as everyone else when his numbers went up. But he's an egomaniac, so all it did was stroke his ego and make him think that he was right the whole time. And it's not. Trolls highlight problems. They expose where there are problems that need to be addressed. Sometimes it's because the troll's a fucking racist douchebag. You know, and being a racist douchebag, he exposes the fact that, you know, a huge portion of our rules that still apply to how we operate today are racist and sexist as fuck. We have a big problem in this country with thinking that our personal beliefs should be the personal beliefs that govern everybody else's life. That you can dictate what someone else's faith is. I don't give a fuck what your faith is. I give a fuck about you not being allowed to legislate it. That's what I give a fuck about. So I'll post the other day. It said, earlier today, said I don't care about this or that. I'd just like to be able to take a gun to my gay friend's wedding. And that's basically the extent of it. I'm not interested in taking away any of your freedoms. What I'm interested in is blocking you from taking away any of mine. Preventing you from legislating your hateful faith, essentially. Religion annoys me because, well, it's completely unscientific, to be honest. It's the biggest problem I have with it, is that it's really unscientific. And when you find evidence that proves that something is incorrect about it, it has no option except to double down on its incorrect position. Hey, look, we've proven that this didn't occur this way. Science has shown. Oh, well, science is a lie. Blah, 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 blah. You know, you can't do that. You can't hear information and then refute it simply by saying, you're wrong, I'm right, without offering any evidence to the contrary. I'll say it before and again and many times, your lack of understanding of science is not a valid argument against it. You don't get the science. It's fine. It works out the same with the math. I found a lot of times Trump supporters seem to have a difficult time grasping percentages. Simple stuff. The woman on the bus earlier who lived at Bollinger Tower and is terrified that she's not going to have any place to go. Well, no, and if you keep allowing your politicians to tear apart the social programs, like welfare is not a stopgap. When you look at the numbers on how much welfare fraud there actually is, by the way, the number is super fucking low, like less than 5%. So the idea that, you know, somehow all these people are living free on welfare and selling drugs and yada, 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 I don't actually see any evidence of that. In cases where they're talking about let's drug test all the people who get welfare, every time they've tried that, they found that you know the answer. Poor people really can't afford to buy a lot of drugs. So, tell you what, why don't we drug test all the politicians? Before you can hold a Senate seat, prove that you're not on cocaine. How about that? Can we do that? Is there a drug test for being a politician in the United States, or is it almost a requirement to have a dope dealer? You know, just so that you're not, you know, alienating your constituents or anything. Back in a second.